Yeah. Hello, Azalea Garden Middle School staff. We're here with the esteemed Ms. Backus and Ms. Estes. And we have a question about education today. And let's see if they can answer it. All right, ladies. What is AI and how does it impact education today?
AI is artificial intelligence, and I think it impacts us with our computers, our cell phones, because we can learn more from them than we can in a book sometimes.
All right. And Ms. Backus, what do you think AI is?
I think it's some type of robotic machines that in the computers that can help the kids with education as well.
All right, and here's the last question that I have. Ladies, what about O and U?
O and U? I don't know.
Well, we're talking about AI, and then there's AI, O, and U. Do you think that has anything to do with the impact?
You're artificial intelligence.
We're together on that. We need help.
All right, everybody. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about artificial intelligence this month, and this is what our PD is all about. So stay tuned, and I'm coming right back with you with a tool that you can use dealing with AI in education. Hello, everyone. I am your friendly neighborhood ITRT. That stands for Instructional Technology Resource Teacher. But not only just a teacher, I am a resource specialist. But I am your resource in technology. So if you find yourself in your classroom and you're trying to figure out that next lesson or lesson plan, all right, well, look around your classroom. Even if you think you're the only one there, no worries, I am there as well. So all you have to do is just email me or contact me, and I will definitely help you with any resources that you need. And that's dealing with just technology in general. But as we're talking about technology, technology has really grown, and especially in the field of education. So just to give you a glimpse of all of this, you remember the movie called The Matrix? Where you had Neo that was out there and he was wondering whether to take the red pill or the blue pill because he felt he was in a computer simulated program. Or do you remember the Terminator? And technically the Terminator is a part of the Matrix series. What it is it's the very beginning before Neo comes along. And so you remember the Terminator where you have Arnold Schwarzenegger and he is trying to unalive Sarah Connor's son. And so it goes into the whole realm of robotics, just like Ms. Backus talked about and just like Ms. Estes talked about as well. So we're talking about robotics, we're talking about artificial intelligence. And for us as educators, we're going to take a look at how that plays within the educational role. So even though I mentioned these particular movies, all right, those are actually fiction, but we do have things now that is nonfiction, things that kind of mirrors those two particular movies. When we think about artificial intelligence, a lot of us think, okay, wow, this is a brand new concept. But in reality, it is not. As a matter of fact, we're like, I would say like 50 years into this particular kind of era. And the reason why I say that is because when technology came into play, even with the computers, we were constantly building and building and building on what a computer can do. So just like we had Yahoo, we have Google, and remember, we used to have AOL, and we had dial-up. Well, those things were precursors to artificial intelligence. So now we use it a lot. We tell our students, go into Google and search and find this particular resource. Well, that is artificial intelligence and how it combs and scours all of the internet to find the resources that you need. Now, don't get me wrong, because technology, it is not infallible. In other words, technology can go wrong at any second. And sometimes when we're asking the computer to find certain resources, we have to double check behind those resources or what they pull to make sure that they're pulling the correct information. So even though we put things into Google and into all these search engines, sometimes they don't give us accurate information. So we have to be very careful and mindful of that. And especially when we're talking to our students, we want to make sure that they understand that as well. So technology is just a resource. It does not take the place of educators or any staff member here. All right. So I know that when we go into the stores now and we're going through that checkout line, that now you see where you can do self-checkout. Well, trust and believe, if there's a person there, I go to that person because you'll always see that little light buzzing, that little red light where someone needs help because it just didn't work the way that you want it to. Now, here's the thing. However, artificial intelligence in education is growing. It is a way to try and find our resources of information fast. And it's easier for us to use as well as educators because we can quickly create lesson plans. It's time management that we need in order to go from one level to the next. We're always tasked with doing certain things. And so I want to make sure that you understand how to use it responsibly and give you all of these awesome tools that are out there that is going to help you manage your time and get those resources that you need in order to make your classroom, in order to make your work environment, because I'm not just talking about educators, I'm talking about all staff here. It will make your work environment effortless. It will give you, again, like I said, time management, that time that you need in order to get other things done. So today we're going to learn about one of Google's artificial intelligent models, and it is called Notebook LM. So if you go onto your computer and you type that in, Notebook LM, Google has created a place or a safe space where you can actually add all your documents right into a certain spot, and then you can combine them to get all the information that you're trying to find out of those documents. But wait, there is more with Notebook LM. I absolutely love it, and I know that you will too. All right, then, come on, let's do this together. All right. Glad to be sharing this new PD session with you. And again, we're talking about AI. So this one is called Notebook LM. It is a program that is specifically made from Google. And you know that we use Google Apps here in Norfolk Public Schools. Well, a portion of Notebook LM happens to be free. And so we're going to use this free version. And if you hear some bells ringing, that's because I'm in school, okay? All right. Okay, so have you ever wanted your own personal AI assistant? Well, that is what Notebook LM is. It's your own personal AI assistant. And for us, it is really special because as educators, we can use this personal AI assistant to research materials, to create study guides. And what this program actually does is it summarizes any document that you have. You can smash like several different documents, at least about 50, put those all together and create one bit of research that will compare and show connections between one document to the next. So it helps you to summarize. It explains complicated issues and make it a whole lot simpler. This can make an audio recording. It can make a podcast. It can make a video of all of these different source of resources that you actually put together. Okay, so that is why I really love it. I love it as a student because when I study, I can create a podcast of all these different materials that my teacher sends to me, and I can listen to that podcast on the go. I can also look at a video which will explain all of those different documents that I put together and smash together. And all of a sudden, now I have a visual. So our kids learn, or our students learn in different ways. And this is a great way of kind of teaching them how to research and use this material. The great thing about Notebook LM is this: it actually takes those documents and actually creates a citation versus having Chat GPT. Chat GPT just gives you general knowledge, but Notebook LM is specific to the documents that you put inside of the program. And not only this, with this, you're looking at actual research for study, creating study guides. When you're looking at Chat GPT, it's just brainstorming. Whatever you put in there, it will just brainstorm it. But this is more specific and more specific for us. So let's go ahead and get started with this program without further ado. In order to get started, we're going to go ahead and look at this icon down here, like right in the middle that says Try Notebook LM. Well, you know what we're going to do? Guess what? We're going to click on that and try Notebook LM. So let's go ahead and click right there. These are my files for Notebook LM. As a matter of fact, like I said, I use this all of the time. So you'll see that I have a couple of different files in here. Some things I have deleted along the way so that I can make room for other things that I really want to hold on to. So while we're looking here, you'll notice over here where it says recent notebooks, down below you'll see a white box and it says create new notebook. And it has a plus symbol. And you know what we're going to do? I know. We're going to create a new notebook. But before we get out of this particular part, if we go up a little bit and we slide all the way to, well, this is to my right, you'll see a little check mark here and boxes. And this is where we are right now, where you see boxes. It is the same kind of feature that we have in Canvas, or when we have Google, actually. So we can actually look at our cards that are here, and or we can go ahead and make a list. So when we hit the lines or the hamburger, it will just list all of the titles of our documents. But me, I like to look at everything in box style. It makes it easier for me. I'm a visual girl, so this works, okay? This is also here, it says most recent. This is everything that I want to see with the most recent date up at the top. So you'll notice that the last time I was in here was January 15th, 2025, where I was actually taking a look at some things with pre-algebra. And if you look down below, it'll tell you that it says title. And then it says here to the side that we can create some newer ones too. Up here at the top, we do have our cogwheel for settings, so we can really take a look at settings just to see if we have everything the way that we want it to look. So now without further ado, and I keep saying that, I don't know why, but let's go ahead and hit where it says create new notebook. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit that plus symbol. All right. Before I begin with this one, I just want to say to Miss Backus, if you hear her giggling in the background, she's right here. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, Miss Backus. And Miss Estes, thank you for helping me out with this video. I appreciate y'all. All right. So when this page opens up, it's going to say create audio and video overviews from, and then it'll give you a list of topics like from your notes, or a list of resources. It'll tell you your notes from the website and from any document that you happen to have. When you go below, if you wanted to search the web for a couple of the items, you can actually put in what you want to research. Down below, you'll see where you can drop in your files, and we're kind of used to dropping in files here. You can upload files that you've already saved. You go to a website and upload that, and YouTube. Remember, YouTube is a Google app. So again, we're in Google. You can also upload from your Google Drive. If this does not work, remember that your Google Drive or anything that is online has a URL. So if it doesn't necessarily upload here, then just go ahead and grab the URL from that document. You can copy it and then add it right in. And then, of course, right next to it, you can actually copy any sort of text from like Microsoft Word, if you have Keynote, if you have a MacBook or anything like that, then you can go ahead and copy text and then add it right on in here. So today we're going to talk a little bit about ratios, and I'm just going to show you real quick how to just add some things. So we're in the search bar right now, and I'm going to type in ratios for, how about middle school? Okay, and I want to search the web. Well, it already says web. If I hit the drop down, I can search the web or my drive. This is where I found some complications of trying to pull stuff from my drive. So that's why I said you can always pull the document, put it on the side in another tab, and then grab that URL and then add it in. So we're going to just do the web right now, and we're looking for ratios for middle school. And I'm talking real fast. Okay. So now you'll notice we have 3 different columns. One that says sources, the other says chat, and one that says studio. If you notice here right under sources, you'll see that now it has found 7 different types of resources just from me putting into the web search. And so here we have like a unit. It looks like something from the web, and then here's a PDF, and here are a couple of other documents. Well, I want to import those and add those. These are the documents we are going to use. Okay, so now notice all of these are here, from scale drawings to ratio proportions. You'll see 6th grade math to 10th grade ratios. If I wanted to add anything else, I can go up to the top where it says add sources. When I hit it, our box comes back. This time I want to upload files. Okay, so when I hit upload files, hopefully you'll see this, but I'm going to hit, I have 2 files, one that says ratios 1 and ratios 2 that I saved from online. So I'm going to open that up, and now that is going to import in here too. And hopefully you'll see where it says ratio number 1 and ratio number 2. Oh, look, I'm so excited. It's like a melting pot, a melting pot. If you look at the chat, and look, Miss Back is still here. So, she learned something too. So, hey, Miss Back, look at this. It says mastering ratios and unit rates right in the middle where it says chat. So now it started to take all of those resources and it's smashing it together. Your personal assistant AI is now putting all these sources together to make one. And here is where it can ask you, well, what else do you want to know? So if we're looking at this middle one, it says mastering ratios and unit rates. Grade 6 curriculum guide. It's just starting to put all these 12 resources together, as you see. And as I scroll down some, you'll notice that it has some various information about ratios. You can save this into your notes. I'm going to go down for a little bit, and it says, well, how can unit rates help me find the best shopping deals? Right here is where just like ChatGPT, it begins to ask you certain questions to see if you want a little bit more. And so if you did want some things, you can kind of type it in the box and say, you can add that, how can ratio rates kind of help me? So I'm going to hit that real quick, and it'll read the resources, as you can see, and it's getting more information. Okay, so this is your assistant. It's your chat bot. And now if you had ChatGPT, you can actually talk to ChatGPT and it talks right back to you, right? Well, this does the same thing, but I'll show you a little bit in a few just how this works. So right now it is taking a look and is exploring some things and is researching and looking up what I've just added in. And notice now it's giving me more information. This is just my chat bot, okay? And I can scroll down and see all this information right here. And it's based on that question that I just hit. Now, if I go over to the 3rd column, this column is absolutely awesome. This is where you can create an audio overview of it. That means that I can create a podcast and I can put it in my ear and actually listen to certain things. And you know what? I'm glad you're here, Ms. Backus, and she's not coming to the camera right now. You know what I'm saying? Ms. Backus is a little shy. She's a little shy. But Ms. Backus and I did this maybe a couple of months ago, where I showed her that I can create a podcast and that she can actually hear hear notes within Notebook LM. So I'm glad she came in. We can create a video now, a mind map. We can create some reports. So I'm going to show you that in just a few seconds. So right now I need to make sure that everything is working just right so that it pops up for you so we can see it. All right, hey everybody, look, Miss Backus done left me, but that's okay. That's okay, Miss Backus, that you left me. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this third column that's over here, and it is called Studio. And I'm going to try and make it so that you can actually see some of the different things that we can create. So now that we have all these different resources, and remember I said there's audio overview, you can make flashcards, you can even make an infographic. And you see where it says beta, and beta for the slide deck. Some things don't work in the building with our network, so you would have to try this at home if you wanted to kind of work with this. And the great thing is, again, like I said, this will save in your file, your little library category when you're opening up Notebook LM. All right, you can also make quizzes, a data table, different reports. And so all these things are here for you. Right now, we're going to do, which is kind of easy, and hopefully you can see it. This is called a mind map. So I'm going to hit that mind map. And right now you see right here that it is creating the mind map for me. While I'm doing that as well, I'm going to say, let's make some flashcards. So I'm hitting that. Notice that it begins to scaffold and put everything into this little box underneath what we were just talking about. Say, for instance, I wanted to create a quiz. I know y'all like creating quizzes for the kids. Let's go ahead and put that in there too. So it is now creating the quiz. And notice that these are spinning from generating the flashcards to generating the quiz. But where it says principles of ratios and rates, this is our mind map. So that's here and it's ready to go. But before I do that as well, let's see if I can create this video. So I'm adding that to the mix as well. So we're going to take a look at the video too. And then I'm going to hit audio. So I'm hoping that the audio will play back. Again, like I said, we're here on the network. And if it doesn't, then I'll finish a portion of this at home so you can actually take a look at this podcast that it creates. This is absolutely phenomenal. So right now I'm going to hit where it says the mind map so we can take a look at that. And hopefully you can see this open up right here on the screen. So let me hit that. All right. So now here we have our ratios and rates, and you can see where it says ratio concepts. And you can read down below to see the others like equivalent unit rates. If I hit one of these arrows, you'll notice that the mind map actually expands out, and then you have things that you can teach from. You can actually take this and show the students how from representation or from rates and units, you can get more. If I hit this other arrow right here, now we actually have more, and we can talk about this, the ratio concepts, right from ratios and rates. So you can teach from this, and that is something that is just amazing. So you can put all this together real quick, and boom, now you can put this on your smart board and actually start teaching your students all of these different concepts just from this mind map. Now I'm going right back into where it says studio, and notice we're still trying to generate that audio. So if the audio doesn't come up right now, that's perfectly fine. If the video doesn't come up right now, that's perfectly fine, because it's taking all of this information and it's smashing it together with our network. Okay, so y'all understand that. But we have ratio and quiz, so I'm going to go ahead and hit that. Now here we can take a look, and I'm going to make this a little bigger. Let's expand our view. So now here is our quiz. And so it took all of those different documents and it's created it. So we have 1 through 10 questions. If a bag contains 15 red marbles and 25 blue marbles, if you don't have like 100 marbles, I say all your marbles are not there. Okay, bad joke, bad joke. All right, but if you go below, it'll give you a hint, and you can actually teach from this. Talk to your students. You can write up there on your screen while you're there on your smartboard, and you can have this type of conversation. You can go right to the next one, and you can start teaching from this one too. what is the answer based on everything that you taught from all of those resources that you have. And when you're downloading these PDFs or these files that you're using in Notebook LM, make sure that in Canvas, you upload these in your module portion as notes so that the students can read through them and can follow along with you right here and there, so that you're just not talking to the air. And so with some of these kids, you are talking to the air. Y'all feeling me? So give them all the resources that they need. Okay, so here you can create a quiz. And I'm going to go right back to our section where we can take a look at those other resources. All right, so if you notice that I changed from the file that we were creating into one that I already have listed. And this is the pre-algebra workbook with ratios, proportions, things that I've played with before. With this, I already have where you happen to have the audio sound for pre-algebra already here. So I want you to take a look at what plays here, and I want you to hear this where it actually creates a podcast. And the thing is, you can have two different people talking in this podcast, but it takes all of the notes that you happen to have and add them all in together. So let me play this.
Deep into the world of
So you can
ratios
actually
and
hear
rates,
some of
and we're
this.
going to uncover their hidden power in our daily lives. We've got 3 sources to help guide us: a Math Antics
All right, so
YouTube
notice
video,
how
a 7th grade
everything is
pre-algebra
coming
workbook,
together.
and a guide for
And you can actually have an announcer come up and begin to talk about the notes that you have created. So I really love this. Let's see if I have anything else. So I've noticed that I have created a guide, and this is a comprehensive guide. So I'm going to get out of this pre-algebra workbook where you can actually hear the audio overview. I'm going to click out of that, which is great because you can actually save that and send this out as a link to your students. Or you can actually take the link, which becomes an MP file, and actually add it into your Canvas account so the students can hear their notes. So not only do they see the notes, they can actually hear it. And so here it says comprehensive guide. Remember when I said that you can create a guide, you can create a study guide. And again, this creates your comprehensive notes. All right, everybody, we're going to end there just for today. This is just a little bit of Notebook LM. We'll call this part 1, and we'll do a part 2 series after a bit. And our secret word is, or words, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Everybody, I need a snow day, okay? So do that dance at home, do it here. I don't care where you do the dance, just do the snow dance. And again, like I said, Miss Backus, thank you. Miss Estes, thank you. And you know what? I want to give a shout out to my sister, Ms. McCracken. Ms. McCracken is on point. All right, I love you all. Okay, have a good day. See you later. Toodles. All right.